Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now today, this is absolutely crazy, and a lot of people have been talking about this recently, and ARK Survival Ascended right now is currently going through a game-breaking issue, but at the same time is the most popular it has ever been in such a long time, and the game is continuing to grow and grow and grow, and it looks like it's kind of getting closer to its former glory. Now, I'm not saying it's anywhere at the moment, anywhere near the vibes that ARK Survival Evolved used to be. But at this moment in time, what I'm going to be showing you guys is probably going to shock you a lot. There's reasons behind this, but with the upcoming Genesis Part 1 DLC, this could be crazy, the type of numbers that Studio Wildcard could be actually hitting again this year. So, as always, if you guys do enjoy today's video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe. Unfortunately, yes, if you have come to this video to find out whether the transfer issue is currently fixed, no, it is still not. That's of me recording right now. If it does get fixed, I will update you guys in my Discord if you want to come and play on the free LoadedCrysis servers. The link to my Discord is down below. That's tend to where we always post out announcements and updates on what Studio Wildcard have said if it's not going to be in a video, but hopefully we will get a fix on this very soon. Let's dive into what's going on and the crazy stats with ARK right now. Right, so if you're an ARK player, you know things can break all the time, and unfortunately, being an ARK player for over 10 years like myself, I have seen many different issues with the game over time, but the one thing that stays true to ARK is how addictive it is, how people just can't kind of get away from the game because it's always been so addictive, and even through the biggest of issues, we all tend to stand together and the game does grow. Now, have I thought that ARK has kind of died off a bit when ASA first launched? It actually did for a while, and I'll be explaining why, but ARK is having a massive comeback, and it surprises me when it decides to have its comebacks. So they recently investigated a series of transfer related issues primarily impacting players connecting through EU endpoints. This was linked to intermittent disruptions affecting cloud data services, which prevented some transfers from completing as expected. This issue should now be resolved and services have stabilized, and we continue to work with our hosting partners to better understand what caused the outage and prevent similar disruptions going forward. This now then again started happening again and is still not fixed, and basically people are losing characters, but if you have lost a character, then it might not be lost. So this is during this window we received a large number of reports related to missing characters, items and creatures, and in many cases these were not lost, but instead remained on the server the transfer originated from within the ARK upload. If you believed you were affected, we still recommend double checking your previous server and your upload to locate character or items, and if your character is still missing after doing so, please submit a ticket to have your character restored, and they appreciate the reports while they work through this. So this is a major issue. This is game breaking right now. But what is insane is currently how the game is performing. So this is currently ARK Survival Ascended, and when I'm recording this video, it is in a kind of a quiet period for the game, but even in its quiet period, it currently has 25,916 players. On Sunday, which tends to be gamers' biggest day, it had 45,000 people playing the game, which is absolutely insane for a random time. This is the type of numbers that Studio Wildcard tend to hit in the past when they release a DLC, and still, some of the DLCs in the past didn't even manage to reach this. Now, when we actually take a scroll, so there is a reason behind why there is a lot of players on right now, and if we go to the entire Steam network, by the way, this is just Steam, nothing else, and we scroll down to find ARK Survival Ascended, it is because it is currently 75%, wait, there's a game that's 100% off right now? £0 to play Graveyard Keeper. I've never seen that before. £16 down to £0. Is this... I've never seen that before. Sorry, that's so weird. 75% off ARK Survival Ascended at the moment. So it's down from £37.99 to £9.49. So, of course, the game right now is extremely, extremely busy because the game is so cheap. Now, these marketing ways are very clever, and it's because there is the upcoming DLC Genesis Part 1, and they want to get as many people playing it as purchased the game as possible, so when that DLC comes around, it is going to be extremely popular. Now, if we actually go and look at the monthly players breakdown, look how the game has performed since Lost Colony, the new DLC, came out. And I've been talking to many people about this, that 2026 has been an insanely good year for ARK. You look at in November, there was 29,000 players at its peak. Lost Colony came out and they jumped up to 46,000, and they hit their biggest peak of 50,456 players January 2026, and that normally in the past would completely fall off a cliff, but it's not done so. The game has stayed very extremely consistent in 2026, and that makes and answers that asks a lot of questions as well. How popular is this Genesis 1 DLC? Because I want to show you guys that there were some points, and this is showing the peak, but you look back to, you know, August 2024, ARK Survival Ascended's peak was 18,000 players, and we were going through an extremely tough time. The October launch was 98,000, and after that, look at this, from October to February 2024, look at the downfall of the game. They had no content, they were a mess, they didn't know what they were doing, but they knew they were on a path to doing something, and things have changed over time. DLCs have been released, updates have been sent out, and where we stand right now, this is the most popular we have seen ARK Survival Ascended. We're not counting this with console players right now. This is Steam on its own, so who knows what that is involved with in console. Now, when it comes to the peak of ARK, it is nowhere near its biggest ever peak, and that's what we're going to be jumping into now. But the fact is, ARK is actually growing again, and the game still has big issues. So it's really interesting, alongside all of this, that it's growing, and ARK remains to be the best bad game there is in the world. So if we quickly come over to ARK Survival Evolved, you can see that even this game is still crazily thriving. 31,000 players on a Sunday peak. Now, of course, this will continue to die as more DLCs and more updates get put onto ASA, but it still holds an extremely good player count for a game that has not received any proper updates for a long time. And the last proper update that it actually got, it broke the game, but it still continues to survive with a crazy amount of players. And you put these two together, you think about that, when we said about the ARK community being split apart, there's 40 to 50,000 on ASA, this is just Steam again, 31,000 here, you're looking at 80,000 players across the entire ARK community on Steam. When we talk about those types of numbers, we're talking about being back in the, we're talking about being up there with 5M, you know, we're talking about being up there with Stardew Valley, GTA, like hitting top 10 numbers on Steam, which just blows my mind when you really think about it. But again, when we go to its all-time peak of 3.8 years ago, when it had 248,000 people playing the game, that was its last biggest peak, and that was, if I'm correct, when Fjorda launched and they had a free weekend. The Aquatica DLC, they lost 22,000 players because that was an absolute mess. But the game's fallen off massively, of course, as expected, because people are moving over to the new one. But where it was free to keep, it was a free to keep game, they had 248,000 people playing. Now, do I think Ascended would ever reach those heights? Who really knows? I was thinking it was more going to be ARK 2 that gets these kind of numbers. But with 248,000 and a consistently growing ARK Survival Ascended now, who knows where this game is going to move to in the future. They've got an Unreal Engine 5.7 upgrade coming. It's meant to be coming this month. And if you haven't played ARK for a long time and you used to be in the community and you say to me, Dom, has anything changed? Are wildcards still the same old wildcard? Yes, They are. They still have the same idea to delay things. They still have game-breaking issues like what's going on right now. Do they release things faster than the old days? Yes, they do. And their delays are nowhere near as bad as they used to be. When you hear an ARK delay nowadays, it tends to be 1 or 2 days afterwards. I don't think any more of a maximum of a week. We have seen the delays happen for small updates, but it tends to only be 1 day, 24 hours, something like that. So they have improved, but still, if you come back to the ARK community and you start playing ARK again, expect, you know, laggy servers, expect ping issues, expect all those kind of things that you've experienced in the past. But overall, ARK Survival Ascended is actually a very, very fun game at this moment in time. And with more and more content coming out, it's actually got a lot of people addicted. And yes, I do agree, there's a lot more pay to win in this as well. So if you're looking to come back and play PvP, you might not be very happy to find out that there's some things behind paywalls now in this game. But overall, it's growing. People are coming to join the community. Old players are returning and getting prepared for the release of Genesis Part 1 in June, and many more to come. It's going to be a very interesting year for ARK Survival Ascended, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Looking forward to, you know, seeing how the reviews are, because obviously the reviews have improved over time, but still not good enough yet. We are waiting on the Unreal Engine update to see if performance can improve, like they've called it, and they've put in their own words, they've called it a magic bullet, and this comes down to Studio Wildcard to prove to us that this game can truly become what it once was, but even better. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope the transfer issue gets sorted very soon, because it's not very nice, and I'll keep you updated on that news in the Discord. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.